It's on a tilt. The earth is flat. Okay, so Fantasy Creek. Fantasy Creek tagged me, which is really nice. It's the first one that I've been in, the first one that I've went. Oh, that's cute. So I'm gonna actually do the tag. So I need to go check his video to see what the second prompts are. This one is called Lying in Bed, which is a book you could or have read in a day. I'm actually doing a little series on that, but that's fine. The first one that comes to mind is to plug my own video, which I'll do at the end card, I guess, where I talked about Heart of Darkness. You can read that in a day, but let's pick another one that you can read in a day. Maybe a favourite. Let's find it. There it is. Driven by James Salas is the sequel to Drive, which is most popularly known as the movie that made Ryan Gosling just an oozing icon of sex and cool. Driven's honestly one of my favourite books of all time. I could argue it as a top 10 position book. It's wonderful. You can read it in a day. It's only 100 and something pages, 155, and it's tight. It's a tight noir. It's a bit of hard black candy that goes down really well, and is really just really sad, and it actually builds on the driver's sparse but good characterization further. The second prompt is snacking, not just a bit of word salad. Guilty pleasure book. I don't actually have many guilty pleasure books. I don't like something, I just don't like something. But the closest I have is probably, I know, Jim Butcher. I need to fix this. My head keeps getting cut off. There we are. Jim Butcher did a wonderful series, which people will already know about, the Dresden Files. I've only read up to the third one because they get a bit. They're not really for me. But that first book, I really love. I love how pulpy it is. I love how sweet it is. It's also got like a little bit of an edge to it. So the closest I could get to a guilty pleasure is that or like Bills and Moon, like lady porn books. I love them. I think they're hilarious. Okay, next prompt was Netflix. So I've never owned any streaming service. I don't get them. I then end up reading about like the business practice, and it just strikes me as absolute evil. So I don't have like Spotify or Amazon or Netflix or Hulu. I nearly worked for Mubi, the like Netflix of movies, but then I got into an argument with the guy that runs it, who's actually very nice. We just he wanted me to have a Twitter, and I don't use Twitter. So Netflix is a bizarre one. However, I like a week ago, this would have just been can't answer. However, I have no problem with being a parasite. So I recently got in touch with an ex of mine, and she gave me her password to her Netflix. So I now do have access. I do have access to it, which is really good relationship advice as well. Try and remain friends with your ex. You can sponge off them at some point. And I now can answer it, and it's Lady Dynamite. Lady Dynamite, I think, came out in 2017, but I heard about it in 2018. I really like Mitch Hurwitz. I'm a massive fan of Maria Bamford, and I've been watching Lady Dynamite on and off, and I love it. So yeah, I would say Lady Dynamite is. I haven't went any further into Netflix than that. I saw it, and I think there was another show that was on Netflix that I really loved. Oh, Top of the Lake. That's what I found on Netflix. I loved that. I saw that years ago when it first came out. So Lady Dynamite, check out Lady Dynamite. It's tip top. Maria's incredibly funny. Next problem is Deep Clean. That is a book that's been on your TBR Kind of. I think I can kind of answer that. I picked up all of Alan Moore's Jerusalem, not when it came out. I was elsewhere when it came out, and I read the first book of it. It's really, really good. But the second one I started and I just haven't picked it up since then. I guess that'd be my TBR. But I really feel that I would want to do a deep roll into it, so I might just abandon this reading of the second one, go back to the first, read it all the way through. I also have this, which is the research writings of Nikola Tesla, which everyone knows Tesla as a buzzword, but I managed to find this, which is really interesting, but my own grasp of physics isn't higher than like high school physics, so it's not really the best. I don't know a whole lot about the sequencing of it, but eventually I'll get around to reading the work of Mr. Tesla. It's the game Clever, and the prompt is a book you bought due to hype, maybe recently. Yeah, recently. I haven't bought a book on hype in a very long time. The closest is Tom O'Neill's Chaos. So it's rare for me. It's a hardback for one. I hate it. Shit. We'll just keep that between you and me. And I'm on a slant again. The earth is flat. Yeah. Tom O'Neill's Chaos. Tom O'Neill's Chaos. When was this published? I only heard about it last year because I'm deep into like a lot of leftist stuff. Yeah, 2019. Holy shit. I picked up this last year because of True Lawn and Chapel. I heard about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff like back in 2014, 2015, but it only really blew up after he was suicided. And Chaos is a wonderful book, not just about the Charles Manson murders, but really the illegal CIA operations in America at the time. Not just Operation MKUltra, which everyone knows about, but they go into Monarch and Artichoke and Operation Chaos. It's what this is about is really too big to just dive into on a quick tag, but it's amazing. I actually used this as research for my own book, which I finished last week. It's been sent to a publisher, but I've already fallen out with the publisher. They want to make changes, so at the moment we're shopping around different agents that might give me a better deal and better publishers that might not be as annoying as these ones are. But Chaos is good. It's the last hype book I bought. A book I was gifted. Oh, that one's hard. I don't really receive a lot of books as gifts. People usually don't know what to buy me. Yeah, I don't have any books as a gift recently. Well, I'm just looking. I can't find any. I do have one though. I don't have it with me, but it's the first volume of Cerebus. Cerebus was written by Dave Sim. Speaking of like difficult things to sum up, Cerebus like started off as a parody of like Conan Barbarian comics because it's about an aardvark, but it very, very quickly veered off as Dave Sim's own ever-changing relationship with religion and politics happened, and he incorporated into the book. Cerebus is wonderful. It's controversial. I tried to speak to Dave Sim, but when you get in touch with Dave Sim, you receive a letter that says you have to publicly say you don't think he's a sexist, and I think he kind of is. So I couldn't sign it. But yeah, Cerebus was the last book somebody bought me actually, and that was a few years ago. But Cerebus is very, very good. You have to learn to read it, and if you're interested in publishing rights and publication rights and copyright law. Dave seems an interesting person to talk to. He might not be everyone's, I hate the term cup of tea, but he's an important figure, just a difficult one. Next one is Productivity, a book. Productivity, a book you learnt from or had an impact on you. Pretty much all of them, really, but I think I might have specifics. It's not cheating. It is a textbook, however. It's Romanticism by, well, it's edited by Duncan Wu, but it's got many people that have contributed to it. This was a textbook I had in university, and it's amazing. It's all about the movement of Romanticism. It's got a romantic icon, which is Mr. Napoleon, a personal hero of mine. Also, I can't move it because the tripod will fall. One of my favourite books is basically resting this entire video on, is about Napoleon. Yeah, so I literally learnt from this. I can't say it had an impact on me as far as like personality went, but definitely learnt from it. A lot of wonderful textbooks will have an impact on you. So, an impact on me. It's a hard one. Probably, if I can give you a few, I would definitely say The Ballad of Halo Jones had a big impact on me growing up. Moby Dick obviously has struck me. Blindness by Jose Saramago. That's like the last new book that I read. I know it was published in the 90s, but oh my god, we had to read it for uni, and it's like the last book that I went, oh, this is the greatest book ever written. So that had a huge impact on me. Blindness is wonderful. I will one day cover Blindness. So the recording is different from... There's nothing wrong with my eyes, I'm constantly in pain. It's because I suffer from migraines. Yeah, I had to change. I'm actually sitting down. Like, did that even show? Yeah, I'm now editing, putting the actual final thing together, and it gets to the what are you doing to be healthy, and then like the wind got really bad, so I couldn't hear me, so I'm just gonna reset. I'm probably not the best person to ask about self-care. I'm more into like self-destruction. I'm more into like just tearing yourself apart and just making sure other people are okay. But I guess one thing to do, seeing as we're all stuck indoors, to an extent, like you can still go outside. You've not been like actually quarantined. Nobody is forcing you to stay indoors. Is to realize that you're not being punished, and that by staying indoors you are helping the people that are at risk or could be at risk. And there's loads of good goofs. I'm guilty of the goofs, but it's just to realize that it won't be forever either. And even though it's taking a psychic toll on people, it's not permanent. But I guess like people need some actual like self-care things. I would say focus on your hobbies or interests. Like, now is the time to like hone them. If there's something that you gave up or you don't have as much time to do because you've got work full time, try and like pick that up. Try and make that into like something wonderful, because everyone has one amazing piece of art inside of them. And also expand your interests. I personally am a big music dude. I like all media, really, if I think about it. This is just full of like of not particularly useful but cultural information. So like the past 2 weeks alone, I've just went back to loads of albums I never listened to, or projects that I just didn't get around to picking up. And the biggest ones that have stuck out to me was Lingua Ignora's Caligula. That if it wasn't for Nick Cave's Ghosteen and Weissblood's Titanic Rising, it would easily be like In fact, it is. It's up there as one of the best albums of last year. It's terrifying. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's harsh. I love how harsh it is. I hadn't heard of Lingua until I heard of Caligula. I've went back and listened to her extended EP. I think it's. Should have probably had this up beforehand. Lingua Ignora. Come on, today'd be nice. All Bitches Die. Yeah, that was her last extended EP. Or was it? Maybe it was a full album. But All Bitches Die is really good also. But coming out last year, Ghosteen by Nick Cave, wonderful heartbreaker of a record. Tyler the Creator's Igor, wonderful too. And Anderson Paak's Ventura, which I'm not sure was last year. I think it was. Also stuck out to me, along with Charlie by Charlie XCX. And Health, I love Health. Slaves of Fear, Volume 4. Wonderful. So yeah, that's musically is like a good bit of self-care. So musically, try and find some new albums that you'd love. So there's that. And then the final prompt was, what's a book that's coming out that you're looking forward to? I don't really follow any living authors that strongly. Like, there was a part of me when I was a teenager where I was really looking forward to Bret Easton Ellis. Imperial Bedrooms was meant to come around years and years, but by the time it came out, I was a little bit older and didn't really care. So this one's a little harder. If Michael Brors decides to do some more Napoleon, I would love that. But at the moment, I don't think that's something he's currently working on. The second part of his Napoleon books came out in paperback in March, which I was stoked for because I hate picking up hardbacks. And there is a third, so when I guess that's something I'm looking forward to. The paperback of the third. But a fiction author that I love, who does have a book coming out, I don't know when, there's no date on it or anything, is my book. When it eventually gets sorted. But for real, Cormac McCarthy is writing a novel called The Passenger, and that'll be amazing. I love Cormac McCarthy's work. So that's that. I think I can salvage the actual end point of it. I'm not sure, but I might. So we'll have a good transition to me standing up. Prompt was done. Fantasy Creek was very sweet putting this out. Look at that tilt. Oh, the earth is flat. Yeah, thanks for tagging me in it. I don't actually know enough people or even have an audience enough to tag anyone else, but this was surprisingly fun. Yeah, I hope everyone's fine. It won't last forever. Keep reading. That's like the crappy end line, isn't it? Keep reading.